Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive. You ready to unpack some AI news with me?
Always. Let's go.
All right, well today we're diving into the AI Daily News Digest, February 6th, 2025. And let me tell you, it's a lot.
It's a fire hose of information,
Seriously, new models, community debates, things are moving so fast.
which is why we're here to break it all down.
Exactly, and we've got some really juicy stuff to cover today.
Like what? Give us a teaser.
Okay, so get this. Google says they made the best AI and they're giving it away for free.
Whoa, hold on. Really? Free. Like no strings attached.
That's what they're saying. We'll dive into details later, but first, let's talk Gemini.
Yes. Gemini. Google's really shaking things up with these new Gemini 2.0 models.
3 new releases, Flash-Lite and Pro Experimental. It's a lot to keep track of.
It is, but each one is kind of targeting a different niche.
Right, like Flash Hadlet, it's all about speed and efficiency for coding. And it's already integrated into platforms like Windsurf, Perplexity AI, even GitHub Copilot.
Yeah, so for developers, this is a game changer.
Yeah.
Imagine getting code suggestions in real time. No lag. Just pure coding flow.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But what about Pro Experimental? Is it living up to all the hype?
It's benchmarking really well, sometimes even rivaling models like Claude 3.5 Sonnet. But there are some caveats.
Not quite.
Well, some users are reporting inconsistencies with the API and a potential reduction in long context capabilities. It's like they took a step back in some ways.
So maybe
Yeah.
not the AI utopia Google's making it out to be.
Not quite, but still very impressive tech.
For sure. And speaking of impressive tech, there's a lot of buzz around DeepSeek and their new DeepSeek R1 model.
Oh yeah, this one's causing quite a stir. It's an open weights reasoning model, and people are saying it's outperforming even ChatGPT in some tasks.
Seriously, that's a bold claim.
It is, but the early results are promising, especially with its chain of thought methodology.
Chain of thought. Refresh my memory on that one.
Basically, it allows the model to break down complex problems into smaller, more manageable steps.
Like a step-by-step problem-solving process.
Exactly. It's a more human-like way of thinking. And it seems to be working really well for DeepSeek R1.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
But you mentioned this model is causing a stir. Why is that?
Well, there are some questions about how DeepSeek represented the training costs for this model. Some people believe the figures were misrepresented.
Oh, like they were trying to make it seem more cost-effective than it actually was.
That's the suspicion.
Yeah.
And then there are concerns about data privacy.
Data privacy. What's the issue there?
DeepSeek's servers are located in China, which is raising red flags for some users.
So there's some controversy surrounding this model's transparency and potential data handling practices.
Exactly. It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about what's happening in the AI community, because things are just as lively there.
Oh, absolutely. There's always something new and exciting brewing in the open source world.
Like Cursor IDE integrating with the MCP server. Now users can access resources like Perplexity, right, within their coding environment.
It's a beautiful thing. Everything's becoming so interconnected.
I know, right? Talk about streamlined workflows. And speaking of streamlining, GPT-4all just released version 3.9.0 with a cool new local docs feature.
This one's huge for privacy and personalized AI. Imagine using your own documents as context for the model.
So instead of relying on a generic knowledge base, GPT-4all can pull information directly from my personal notes.
Exactly. Or your company's internal documents. Anything you want.
That's a game changer, especially for people working with sensitive information.
Absolutely. And then we have Unsloth AI introducing dynamic 4-bit quantization to improve accuracy while maintaining VRAM efficiency.
Okay, I'm going to need you to break that down for me. What does that even mean?
Basically, it's like compressing a large image file. You shrink the file size without losing too much visual detail.
So Unsloth is making their model smaller and faster without sacrificing accuracy,
You got it. It's all about making AI more accessible and efficient.
which seems to be the theme running through a lot of these developments.
Absolutely. And it's not just the open source community making strides. Stability.ai, known for their work on stable diffusion, they're trying to improve their community engagement.
They've gotten some flack for that, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. But they're taking steps to address it. They appointed a chief community guy and are implementing a feature request board.
Sounds like they're finally realizing the power of the people.
It's about time.
So we've got Google pushing boundaries with Gemini DeepSeek, making waves with their open weights model, and the community buzzing with new tools and integrations. What's next on our AI adventure?
Buckle up, because we're about to zoom in on some specific use cases and the challenges they're facing. Plus, we'll explore some wild advancements in 3D modeling and video generation. It's going to be a wild ride. Let's zoom in on some of those specific use cases, shall we?
Yeah, let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
So there's this interesting discussion happening on the Aider Discord.
Oh, yeah. What's that about?
People are using Aider to manage errors in large coding projects, like seriously large projects.
And how's it working out?
Well, some people are saying Aider can actually resolve issues autonomously and even refactor code.
Whoa,
I'm like,
that's impressive.
it is, but there are also limitations. You know, even these advanced AI models, they still struggle with certain tasks.
Like what?
Things that require deeper reasoning, multi-step solutions, especially in languages like Rust.
So AI is great for automating the tedious stuff, but it's not quite ready to replace human developers entirely.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
But it's getting closer.
It's a little unnerving, honestly.
I know, right? But hey, it's also exciting. We're witnessing the evolution of software development in real time.
True, true. So what about those frustrations with Windsurf's credit system? That seems to be a major pain point for users.
It is. People are finding that the way Windsurf allocates credits, especially the flex credits, it's causing disruptions to their workflow.
And how does it compare to Cursor IDE? Is Windsurf falling behind?
Some users think so. They're saying Cursor is more flexible when it comes to installing third-party tools and extensions.
Interesting. So Windsurf could learn a thing or two from Cursor's approach?
It seems that way.
Competition's a good thing, though, right?
Yeah.
It drives innovation.
Absolutely. Speaking of innovation, did you see Andrej Karpathy's new piece?
The deep dive into LLMs like ChatGPT? Yeah, I did. It's a fantastic read.
He's such a brilliant communicator. The way he explains complex concepts, it's just so clear and engaging.
I know, right? Like
Yeah.
his explanation of the transformer architecture, it finally clicked for me.
It's like the secret sauce behind these powerful models,
Right.
allowing them to process and generate human-like text.
And what's even better, there's now a free course available that goes even deeper into how these transformer LLMs work.
Really? I gotta check that out. Where can I find it?
I'll send you the link. It's a
Yeah.
must-watch for anyone serious about understanding this stuff.
Awesome, thanks. So speaking of groundbreaking research, there's been a lot of buzz around the new Chain of Associated Thoughts framework, or COAT.
COAT?
Yeah.
It sounds very futuristic.
It kind of is. It builds upon the idea of chain of thought prompting, where you guide the model through a series of reasoning steps.
Right? Like breaking down a complex problem into smaller, more manageable chunks.
Exactly. But COAT takes it a step further by introducing associated thoughts.
Associated thoughts, what are those?
Essentially, they're related ideas that can help the model make connections and draw inferences.
So it's like giving the model a wider range of mental tools to work with.
Precisely. And early results suggest that COAT can significantly improve the reasoning and problem-solving abilities of LLMs.
So we're making these models not just smarter, but more efficient too.
Absolutely. And it's not just about COAT. There are other interesting approaches emerging, like this new paper that explores the potential of a ladder residual architecture for LLMs.
Ladder residual architecture.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to have to break that one down for me.
Think of it like this. It's a new way of designing the neural network architecture that allows for more efficient information flow and gradient propagation during training.
So it's like optimizing the plumbing of the model to make sure everything runs smoothly.
Perfect analogy. And the results are promising. This new architecture could lead to faster training times and improved performance.
Always a good thing. But what about the training process itself? Any new techniques there?
There's one that's sparking a lot of debate. It involves challenging the traditional approach of using cross-entropy loss as the primary metric for training LLMs.
Cross-entropy loss. Refresh my memory on that one.
It's essentially a way of measuring how well the model's predictions align with the actual data.
Okay, got it. So what's the alternative?
Some researchers are proposing the use of harmonic loss as a more effective way to train LLMs.
Harmonic loss.
Ah,
How is it different?
it's like this. Cross-entropy loss is like a coach who yells at their team for every mistake. No matter how small, harmonic loss is more like a coach who focuses on the overall progress, even if there are a few hiccups along the way.
So it's a gentler approach to training.
You could say that.
Yeah.
And early results suggest that harmonic loss can lead to models that are not only more accurate, but also more robust and less prone to overfitting.
That's pretty cool. That's yelling.
Yeah.
More progress.
Exactly. It's a paradigm shift in how we think about training these models.
Fascinating stuff. But with all this talk about cutting-edge research and innovative techniques, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement.
Right. We can't forget about the ethical considerations surrounding AI.
Absolutely. We've already touched on some of the concerns surrounding DeepSeek's data practices,
Yeah.
but there are broader ethical questions that we need to address.
For sure. Like, bias in algorithms, the potential impact on employment. There are so many complex issues that we need to grapple with as a society.
It's a reminder that AI is not just a technological advancement, it's a societal one.
Well said. And it's up to all of us to shape its future in a way that benefits humanity.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, let's shift our focus to some of the most exciting and thought-provoking developments in the AI world, 3D modeling video generation. We've got a lot to unpack.
You know, one thing that's becoming increasingly clear is that the lines between different AI disciplines, they're blurring.
Oh yeah, how so?
We're seeing language models being used for tasks that were traditionally the domain of computer vision, and vice versa.
It's like AI is becoming this melting pot of ideas and techniques.
Exactly. Different approaches are merging and cross-pollinating, leading to some really exciting innovations.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, there's this model called OmniHuman that's been making waves.
OmniHuman. I think I saw something about that. What's so special about it?
It can generate realistic human videos from just a single image.
Wait, seriously? So I could upload a photo of myself and have this AI create a video of me, like, dancing?
Well, maybe not dancing just yet, but the potential is there.
That's wild. What's the tech behind it?
It uses a combination of computer vision and natural language processing to understand the structure and movement of the human body.
So it's like AI is becoming a master puppeteer, able to animate and control digital characters with incredible realism.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just about entertainment either. Think about the implications for things like virtual reality, training simulations, even medical applications.
That's true. The possibilities are endless. But it also raises some ethical concerns.
Right, absolutely. Like the creation of deepfakes, the spread of misinformation. We need to be very careful with this technology.
For sure. It's a powerful tool, but it needs to be used responsibly.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So, before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on a couple of other developments that caught my eye.
Yes, you.
There's Gemma 3, a new open source chatbot that's generating a lot of buzz.
I've heard of Gemma. What's so special about this new version?
It's specifically designed for conversational AI, trained on a massive data set of dialogue, and it's able to generate responses that are much more natural and engaging than some of the earlier chatbot models.
So it's like a more sophisticated version of those customer service chatbots we've all encountered.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But Gemma 3 is much more advanced. It can understand context, remember previous interactions, and even generate different personas.
Whoa, that's pretty impressive. And what was the other development you mentioned?
TinyRag.
TinyReg, what's that all about?
It's a project that's focused on creating smaller, more efficient language models that can run on low-resource devices.
So it's like the opposite direction from those massive language models we've been talking about.
Exactly. The idea is to make AI more accessible and deployable in environments where computing power is limited.
Like smartphones, or even embedded systems.
Precisely. And this could have a huge impact on fields like robotics, IoT, even healthcare.
So we've got these massive, powerful models, and then we've got these tiny, efficient ones.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see how AI is branching out in so many different directions.
It really is. And it's clear that we're just at the beginning of this AI revolution. Who knows what incredible advancements and innovations we'll see in the years to come.
It's both exciting and a little bit daunting to think about. But one thing's for sure, we're going to keep you updated on all the latest developments right here on The Deep Dive.
That's right. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those big questions.
Beautifully put. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the AI Daily News Digest for February 6th, 2025.
It's been a wild ride.
It has. Thanks for joining us. And be sure to check out our show notes for links to all the fascinating discussions and resources we mentioned today. Until next time, stay curious.